Hey everyone, appreciate you all being here at USA Crypto Group for this AMS session. Today we have a project called NeuralAI with us. NeuralAI is the forefront of innovation in 3D asset creation, leveraging advanced artificial intelligence to transform the way developers and artists create 3D models. So with that being said, I'd like to welcome Neural from the team. Neural, pleasure to have you here. If you can start out introducing yourself, talking about your team, and giving us a bit of insight into your background and experience.
Sure. Thank you, mate. Nice to be here. And yeah, so about me, I'm the founder of NeuralAI. We're, as you just said, a 3D AI asset generation project that focuses on, supplying 3D models to game studios, to indie developers, and any kind of 3D visualization production, like video production, movie production. And just about the team. So we have 5 core team members right now. We have developers that have, AI background. We have developers that have gaming background, and we have developers that have a blockchain background. So we basically a mix of everything that we combine. And we also have, in general, the whole team is about 18, 19, almost 20 people. Not sure exactly right now because we've been growing quite a bit in the last few weeks. We have in total, I think, 8 developers, and the rest is, community, mods, marketing, etc. And on top of the 3D asset generation, which is our core business, we're also building out our own Bittensor subnet, which will, further drive our scalability and adoption, and also allows us to drive adoption in a very, cheap way for the users. So that's our core business. I think that answers your question.
Yeah, thanks, Nura, for the introduction there. Yeah, so it seems like you said you have 5 core members, a lot of developers. Yeah, seems like you guys had assembled a pretty good team here, and within a short period of time, there it looks like you guys did a lot. You guys did a lot, but I think you guys are on the right missions,
Thanks.
right? I mean, your goal is to bridge the gap between the indie game developers and and the AAA game studios, providing the tools that eliminate the traditional barriers, right, for the efficiency, cost, and time, which you guys recognize that gaming is one of the biggest narrative going to in the crypto space. So I think you guys want to be the person or I guess the project to facilitate that process, correct?
Yes, indie developers are one aspect. Games in general will have a huge advantage using our technology, because basically we're speeding up the 3D asset production process insanely. So if you think about creating a 3D model right now in the traditional way, you do all your steps. You do block out, model shaping, low poly, UV mapping, blah blah, baking and texturing, and then in the end, this process takes usually, depends on the quality of the model that you create, but usually takes between at least 4 to 8 hours. And we can basically speed this up insanely. And with our solution, any kind of game developer or game studio can use this. They can produce 3D assets with a text prompt or an image prompt within 1 to 2 minutes. So yeah, and then right now there's still a little bit of fine tuning that needs to be done manually afterwards in most cases. But even that doesn't take you more than an hour. So we're already saving, 75% of the time at least.
Which is incredible. I had a chance to test out the dApp there that's able to transform an image to 3D. Now, I don't know the technicality and I don't know much of the details into creating a 3D image like that, but I was able to upload a picture and instantly, man, within like, I don't know, like 40 seconds, and it was able to spit out a 3D image of that image of that cartoon image that I uploaded, which is pretty incredible.
Yeah, yeah, that's what our core offering, right? So we're constantly improving this site. So there's a lot of since we started 4 months ago, there have been a lot of updates, and now we're already at a pretty good spot in terms of quality. But we're in the next 1 or 2 months, we have a lot of updates planned to it as well, which should bring it up to even more, even way better levels, right? In addition to additional features that we're adding that make the life of any kind of 3D artist and in general game developers a lot easier. So, yeah.
Yeah, very interesting. Now, I don't know, in this category, in this industry, game development and the technicality goes behind it. But uh, do you guys have, I mean, are there people out there are doing the same thing? Because I feel like this is something that's almost like, I guess, 3D generation. It seems like a thing for gaming, as we recognize that. But who are your competitions out there, you think? And if there are competitions out there, what differentiate you guys?
So from what I know, I mean, I honestly haven't really checked much in the last month or two, but from what I know in the Web3 space, we don't really have any competition in this genre. Maybe there's one now, but I haven't really checked. I don't really focus on that competition too much. On the Web2 space, we do have competitors, and they're, in terms of quality, I would say we're in the same range as the top competitors that we have right now. And with the next updates that we have planned, we will most likely surpass them. So yeah, I think we're looking pretty solid on that front. So product-wise, the core part is covered, I think.
Yeah, that's actually very interesting, huh? Now, I mean, obviously, I'm looking at your chart right now. You guys' market cap is at 24 million with a liquidity of 1.6 million, which is very healthy. So
Yeah.
apparently, the sentiment agrees with what you say, because to accomplish a market cap like this, it's not easy to do, right? So I feel like people understand what you guys are doing, and it seems like you guys are making an impact out there. Now, how many users, or do you have that data there, Neural, that how many users have used your dApp, your I guess your project to I
Yeah.
guess to help with their project? Do you have that
So,
data or?
well, right now I don't know the exact user count, but we're in the 2,000-3,000s, I think, in terms of users, unique users. But we just now had an update to the dApp, which makes it a lot easier for Web2 people as well to connect and start using it. And we focus less on the user count. We focus more on the models generated. That's our main aspect, right? That's our main metric that we focus on, because that really defines how much we're used, how much use people get from us as well. So in terms of that, we're looking at approximately 42,000 models generated by now, I think, which is already pretty good. But with what we've planned now, this will increase drastically, because right now you have the web app that you can access and generate models with. But in the next few weeks, months latest, we will have plugins in basically all the top 3D applications that you use to create 3D models, and also in all the top game engines. So we're looking at our own. We're already creating our own plugin for Unreal Engine. Unity is next. Then we're going to do a plugin for Blender, and all these plugins are going to be free to use, right? So that should drive adoption insanely, because we will be one of the, if not the only plugin ever that will allow you to create 3D models for free. And the reason we can do that is because we will drive revenue for other sources, and we want to really we kind of want to go a VC-backed route without being VC-backed, in terms of driving adoption as much as possible. So we want to reach 1 million models generated within this year, and I'm pretty sure we're on track to doing that as soon as the plugins are coming out.
Wow, that's incredible, actually. Yeah, I think with what you said there, you already have around 42,000 models generated, like you mentioned there, and with those plugins, especially if they're free of cost. So I think that's going to really drive the adoption for sure. Now with these plugins here, these like blenders like you mentioned there. Again, I don't really know much about. I just know the general idea of these applications here. Uh, but on their usually in a regular basis on their paid program, and if they're paid a program, how are you guys able to manage to get it for free to plug into whatever you guys are doing?
Sorry, what did you mean is a paid program?
On like the Blender, etc.
Oh,
On their
no.
yeah, on their paid
So
program on a regular basis.
no, so Blender itself is not a paid program, and also Unity and Unreal Engine, at first they're also free, right? But they all have marketplaces and plugin shops basically, where you can list your plugins, and these plugins are usually not free because they're created by external companies that want to drive revenue. So I'm not even sure if right now there's any kind of quality 3D plugin in any of those shops, in any of those marketplaces. So I'm pretty sure we're going to be quite unique in that sense.
I see. Okay, so 1 million models end of the year, and so we're already at July. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's going to be yeah, I think that's a big step there to accomplish for the next 5 months, right?
Yes, but we have. I mean, the reason why I'm so confident about being able to achieve this is because we drive so far we haven't really pushed much on the collaboration side because we wanted to build out the product first. The website just got a complete relifting, focused on really targeting the game industry as a customer first, and then we just released our own API, which basically any other external company or third party can get an API key from us now. And with a REST API, they can build that into their workflow or build their own plugins using our API. So with all of that, and now also doing a lot of collaborations with games, especially right now we have a lot of them in the Web3 space coming. We started actually announcing them a few days ago, so perfect timing. So we have a lot of collaborations coming there. Today we just announced a strategic partnership with Seedify, which I think is pretty huge. All of this combined, we will provide, to all of the incubated games from Seedify, for example, we will provide our solution. They will integrate our solution if they like it, and that also will drive a lot of adoption. And then we're looking to spread out to a lot of different games because it's a no-brainer for them. As I said, they can save a lot of cost and time. So it's a very easy sell. We have a lot of calls already with game studios, and they always the question is always, so what's the catch? How much are you charging us for this? And we're basically able to say it's free. So that's pretty unique, I think.
Yeah, Seedify, if you guys have not heard Seedify, you guys should check them out. Seedify, I bought a few projects from Seedify before. I invested in a few projects actually. It's a big deal. It's actually, I saw that actually on your announcement there, along with other partnership as well. What's the other one? I forgot.
Oh, we had a few today. I think it was which one did we actually announce today? 1 second. I need to double check before I say something wrong. Yeah, Shockwaves, right? It was Shockwaves. So tomorrow we actually have an AMA also with them, and they have a tournament with a prize pool for our tokens actually. So yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, man, it seems like it, man. Seems like it. All right, so I mean, it looks like that is that is the goal. I guess the forefront of the innovation of the project uh, is the 3D asset creation, right? And we just talked about that. Now let's go deeper into your utilities, and I know that you have other utilities there as well. Yeah, so let's go in depth on that. Can you guys still hear me, or because I just I'm I'm
Yes.
froze on my side all of a sudden. Okay, so my mic just stopped moving, so it does that sometimes. I'm not sure whether I'm still talking or.
Yeah, no, all good.
Yeah, sounds good. So let's go. Let's go. Now we talk about the main mission of your project already, and I know that you have other utilities as well. So let's go. Let's go into that.
Well, so you mean in terms of token usage, or
Yeah,
what are
token
we talking?
usage.
Okay. So yeah, utilities for the token. I mean, the main utility for the token right now is really the staking, right? The staking basically allows our token holders to participate in revenue share. Right now we produce revenue through Tau miners on the Bittensor network. Soon we will produce revenue through our own Bittensor subnet, and all of that goes, I mean, at least partially goes back to the stakers, and that I think drives a lot of value to the token. And then we also have a lot of other revenue streams that are coming up that will also go into this onto this staking pool. And I think it's pretty unique because the staking really, we don't give out our own tokens. There's no dilution of the neural tokens. It's all based on, as I said, real revenue. So that actually is, I think, something quite unique in this space, which not a lot of projects actually achieve. And we're actually pretty proud about that. So, and that's right now, that's the main usage. We also have the dApp usage, but that's pretty softened right now because of us just wanting to drive adoption. And then we also have some things coming up, like our marketplace for our own 3D assets, which will come with a fee, a trading fee, which will also go back into the staking pool. So yeah, there's a lot of usages, especially focused on the revenue share part right now.
Yeah, so it seems like there's a lot of incentive. Now, in order for you to earn, so most of the incentives that you just mentioned there, in order for you to earn those rewards, you have to stake the tokens, correct?
Yes, there's this staking system that we have, but it's the most relaxed system you can have, right? There's no lockup. It's dynamic. You can claim, you can deposit, withdraw your tokens whenever you want to. So as long as you stake, you generate rewards, and the rewards are paid out actually in Tau, in wrapped Tau on the Ethereum chain, which is the Bittensor token. So yeah, that's it's pretty straightforward.
And it seems like I think I read somewhere like 2.5% of the fees generated goes back into the holders. I guess so. My assumption is that in proportion to how much you stake into the staking pool, and 2.5% generated goes back into the ecosystem for development. Correct?
That is actually part of what we're planning with the marketplace, right? That split is because we plan a 5% fee in the marketplace. But right now, actually 70% of any revenue generated goes into the staking pool. We will see how that is in the future, because we, as I said, like we expand the team, we need to do some things, but in general, it seems like we will stick to this ratio.
I see. Okay. Now the marketplaces. Let's dig deeper to that a little bit more. How do you envision this marketplace?
Well, so basically, if we already have the web app and which is a dApp as well, it's very easy for us, to add a marketplace where you can trade your models that you generate in our app directly with, one click basically. So you can put them up on the marketplace. They can be traded there. You can turn them into an NFT. You can potentially also decide, intellectual property rights and stuff like that. And you can also build, just like in I don't know how familiar you are with gaming and how to build games, but for example, in the Unreal Engine marketplace, you have game assets that people put there, right? But they don't just put game assets; they also put asset packs. Like if you, for example, they put medieval weapons, you know, then it's like a series of assets in one pack, and we will basically allow the same thing. So that's how we envision it right now. But I also have to say it's not our main priority because we have a lot of things going on. And the first step, I mean, there's many steps coming right now, but the major next step is the Bittensor subnet, along with the plugins we're going to release. So those are the first priorities.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, so I'm assuming that you guys also have you guys work with Bittensor, right? And how is that going? How like when you said your next major step, we spoke on the plugin. Seems like that's coming in very soon. But what about the Bittensor subnet? How far are we away from that?
Yeah, well, we kind of refrain from giving an exact timeline on this on purpose because the Bittensor subnet for us is really important to get right on the technical front. So we have a few steps that need to be done there. Quite a few of them are already done, but the major point that we're basically figuring out right now, and are I think pretty close to finishing, is the exact way of validating the output. So if you I don't know how familiar you are with subnets, but basically there's miners and there's validators, right? And the miners are the ones that actually produce some kind of output. So you would have, for example, in this case, the miners are the ones that would produce the 3D models based on what the validators are actually telling them to produce, right? And basically, in order for the miners to get rewarded, you need to have validators that can actually tell the difference between, you know, a good output of a miner or a bad output. And this is actually not as simple to get right as it sounds, because especially in the 3D model space, because it involves multiple steps to create this 3D model. And what we decided is we need to judge every one of these steps. So we have three major steps in our model generation process, which is first the initial image, which is what everything else is based on. Then we generate a multi-view image set, which is multiple images in different angles of the same image as the original. And then you have basically the 3D model output. So we judge all three of those steps in our validation process. And that's a tricky thing to get right, because we don't want anyone to be able to cheat the process and get, you know, rewards for models that are not up to our standards. So we're working with two very specialized, highly skilled subnet developers to get this part right, and also have a few of the top Bittensor miners on board to actually try and basically exploit our system, so we can figure out if they're able to do anything that we don't want them to do, you know. So yeah, there's a lot of work involved there. And in terms of timeline, I don't want to give any specifics, but yeah, we're quite far already.
I mean, I don't know the technicality of it, but I can only imagine that, you know, you have a lot of different aspects like you mentioned there. You have the security side, you know, ensuring that no single entity can have control of it. Then you have the incentive size, right? And you also have the fairness size, and so you have all that to balance it out pretty much, right? So, yeah, sounds like a lot of
Yeah.
work to be done.
Yeah, for sure. But as I said, I think we've basically 75% done. So
Oh wow.
yeah.
Wow, that's great progress. That's actually great progress. Okay. And on your roadmap there, Newell, you guys also mentioned about the GPU streaming. Could you elaborate on that a little bit? I know it's an ongoing thing, but how do you foresee that as well?
So the GPU thing is GPU streaming thing is something that we have pushed back quite a bit, because for us this is more like an add-on at some point. The thing is, GPU streaming is really hard to get right. A lot of big corporations already tried it, and so far they haven't really cracked it. Even Nvidia and other corporations tried it, and it's still not really being adopted. I can see that this is something that can become interesting in a year, 2 years maybe. And there's a lot of demand to it for sure, because there's a lot of people, in underdeveloped countries, or simply people that can't afford a high-end hardware computer. So for those people, it would make a lot of sense to have the GPU streaming, which means basically you provide a service where they can utilize the compute power of another computer or server with very little latency between them to actually play a game that they otherwise wouldn't be able to play on their local computer, right? That is something that is quite interesting, but it's not something we'll focus on right now. We're more focused on, as I said, the Bittensor subnet, our staking rewards, and plugins adoption of our core product, and then we'll see how we expand into other areas.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a natural progression is there for you guys right down the road as well. Yeah, GPU, it's no longer just for processing images only. Now it's just for, like you mentioned, their computational task now, right? Now you're trying to get that into the streaming for people that may not have the, computational power to play video games. I think that's actually, you're correct on that. Many companies have tried, and we actually have talked to a few of them actually. It is a big thing, a big task to take on.
Yeah, I mean, it also depends heavily on which kind of games you want to support, right? Because if you're talking about very slow-paced games, maybe even no latency required games, then it's fine. But if you think about playing an FPS, it's very crucial that you have very much, basically no latency, right, between you and the server that's actually executing the actions that you want them to do. So
Right.
it's a tough thing to get right. I don't think that, honestly, in my opinion, probably pretty much all projects that are trying to attempt this right now are probably going to fail.
Yeah, we had a project. So actually, the guy actually worked for NVIDIA. They actually had a partnership. We did an AMA with them not too long ago,
Yeah.
and yeah, it shot up to like 100, like 70 million market cap right out the gate, right out the gate. So I mean, a lot of our community members, including myself, I mean, we made pretty good money, but we didn't understand how it shot up so fast within like 3 days.
Well, I
You
think
know,
I know which project you're talking about, but
yeah,
yeah, no,
yeah,
I mean, good luck to them.
yeah.
The thing is,
Let's let it go down.
we put ourselves in a position strategically where we know that we can succeed for sure, and we don't overexpand, So we know gaming, we know 3D, we know AI, and we know crypto. So all those things combined make it perfect for us to build out this product that we're building right now. And there's from experience, I can say, if you try to do something that sounds great, sounds very ambitious, oftentimes it just fails. Because you run into things that simply you can't foresee, and then it all falls apart.
Right, but you have a very core model here, right? Which I believe was your 3D asset creations. And now that there alone, when you're talking about with the indie games and the AAA game studios or developers there, I mean that's a big niche on the Web3 here,
Yeah.
right? That's where we're heading to. So even if you guys just focus on that alone and able to really be good at what you guys do in there, that alone, that's a huge market.
I mean, the beauty of our project is that with one product, we basically combine 3 or 4 niches in the crypto space. So we combine AI, gaming, Bittensor, and we also have a little bit of deep in our project, right? Through working with Akash network and a few other people. So I mean, I didn't mention this before, but we have a very strong collaboration with Akash. We actually had a live side event in Brussels at EFCC with them together. And yeah, so we combine a lot of different different niches that are all, you know, quite hyped right now. Gaming, not so much actually. So that's like that's something we're waiting for in a way. But everything else is already booming. So I think we're prepared.
Actually, which is the project that's mainly focuses on cloud computing, right? Is that the one?
That's Akash, yeah. So Akash is one of the biggest DeepIn projects out there right now. I think they're like I think they reached like 1.5 billion market cap or something. I don't know exactly, but they're a really solid project. They're really one of the few projects that actually build some great product in this space that is actually usable, and they offer us very good support, and we're very happy to work with them.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. Yeah, I mean, it seems like that aligns with what you guys are doing, and you just had a meeting with them, correct? Or you guys have formed a partnership, you said?
Well, we have a collaboration. They don't do partnerships, but we're very strong collaboration with them. We talk basically every few days, and we had a live event in person at EFCC with them. So we threw a side event together that we did with Akash together. Yeah, NeuralAI, Akash, and I think Venice AI was also part of it. So we met quite a lot of nice people there. Some holders were there as well. It was quite interesting.
That's awesome, man. You know, I mean, with those Akash, yeah, I'm actually familiar with that project as well. One of you're right, maybe the biggest DPN projects out there. But to be having the relationship with that project, with that magnitude, right, the caliber, that's amazing, man. So I'm not sure what like who you are, Neural, but you guys are actually building a pretty good network out there. That's pretty impressive because usually you have projects like that at high market cap, right? And you're starting out, right? I'm not sure how long you guys been around? A few months?
Well, the token launched like almost 4 months ago. Yeah,
Okay, like around March.
yeah, mid-March.
But yeah, what I'm trying to say, usually big projects of that, in a billion market cap around there, they usually don't really take the smaller projects seriously, right? So whatever you're doing, man, you're doing a heck of a job out there.
Well, look, we've been around in the crypto space for a long time. It's just that we started the project a few months ago. We worked
Yeah.
on it already before, and we knew Akash. We already had meetings with Akash 3-4 months before we launched Neural. So they knew what we were up to. I think they understood that we were capable and we were actually very serious. So it wasn't hard to convince them to collaborate, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome network to have. That's amazing, actually. Um, yeah, sounds good. And I saw this thing called the two things that still we haven't talked about is the neural AI flywheel in the incubation program. So if we can get touch on that, what is a neural AI flywheel? What is that?
Well, so basically, there's a lot of everything that I just mentioned before. You know, the subnet, the miners, the product itself, the 3D AI asset generation. All of that combined basically builds the flywheel. So what we're doing is we're driving adoption for free for the user. At the same time, the user can come in. The user is usually either, as I said, an indie developer or game studios, 3D artists, they come in, they use our product, they see it's working nice, they start using it more and more. And if it's a game studio, you know, they can actually participate in the Bittensor subnet. So they could either become miners themselves, or they could become validators and start actually earning rewards for generating their own models as well, you know. So basically you have a free product that lets users earn on top of generating their assets and on top of saving them a lot of time and cost. So this is what we call the flywheel, because the more people start to use it, the more people will see that it makes a lot of sense. The more people will actually start to try to mine and validate on our subnet, which then again goes back into more people using it and the word of mouth spreading basically, and they get rewarded for using our product in a way which is impossible in any other scenario other than the Web3 space. And that just continues, you know. So through that, we build up user base, we build up loyalty to our product, and we should see insane adoption. And on top of that, one thing I didn't mention is these miners on the subnet, they're in a constant competition, right? Because the miner slots are limited. Usually it's about 200 miners on the subnet. And if you, as a miner, if you don't produce high enough quality of the model output, you will eventually get deregistered and someone else will take your place, right? So that drives additionally to our own work that we're doing in terms of, you know, improving the quality of the output, improving the speed of the output. And on top of that, the miners themselves are highly incentivized to find their own ways of actually producing better output. So that should also drive not just adoption, but also drive the quality of the actual assets that's generated, which in turn, you know, fuels adoption, because if the better results we have, the more people will actually use it and will stick to using it, right? So that's what we call the flywheel.
I love it. I love the philosophy. Everything is like interconnected in some way, right? Depending on each other, but highly incentivized. So everybody benefits from it. So, I mean, that's so you get paid to make your life easier by using your program, pretty much.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's quite
man, that's pretty
insane,
cool.
yes.
You get paid to make your life easier, just simply using the program or the dApp there.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Now I see the philosophy of flywheel. Yeah, so it goes around and very highly incentivized, but you know they all depending on each other to for its growth, right? So, yeah,
Yeah.
I can see the philosophy what you described there. The incubation program there, Neural. What is that?
Oh yeah, well we started with this idea, okay, so and we have the 3D asset generation, we have collaborations coming up, but we also kind of wanted to support upcoming Web3 games that actually have a great vision, hopefully a great product already, and are actually worth, you know, incubating and getting the visibility to them that they deserve. So we started with that. We started with an incubation already. Right now it's on hold, to be honest, because we're not 100% sure about the vision of the founders of the project yet. But we also have a few other candidates that we can work with if we want to. But again, this is something extra, and for me and for the core team, it's very important that we don't spread out too much. We already have a lot of things going and a lot of things happening constantly, and you know, new releases, new updates, collaboration, etc. So we need to be very careful with how we manage our time. And yeah, this is something that we're definitely going to have, but it's something that is also, again, not our main priority. So yeah, we will release more information about that soon as well. But yeah, basically the idea is to find or attract projects that actually want to use our technology and are, you know, a really good fit for us to actually incubate and help them get visibility, because we have a lot of resources, we have a lot of connections in the space, technically, but also on the marketing side, and we can definitely help projects get visibility. And we also know how to build, you know, games and stuff from our previous experience. So yeah, all of that combined, we offer that to projects that are actually worth working with. But yeah, more information on that will be released soon.
Yeah, I can see how the idea, ultimately will fit into your project there, right? Not only to help the project, but if you will attract some innovative idea or developers coming through to further, I guess, help also in turn raise your projects as well, right? So it goes vice versa.
Yeah, I
I
had
definitely
a,
see that idea.
oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, brother.
I had a very interesting conversation with Greg, the founder of Akash, at that live event. And we actually came up with a very nice hackathon idea that we might actually pull off on the next live event that we'll be on, which is actually regarding, you know, getting people to, you know, build out a level of a game, for example, that we prepare with our own assets, populate it, and you know, the best ones that actually, you know, are fun and nice and look good will be rewarded. So that's one of the things we have in mind as well. And there's quite a few other things on the content marketing side that kind of relate to that, but I don't really want to reveal too much about that yet. So let's keep it at that.
That sounds good. That's awesome. That's awesome. That the idea that you guys have with Akash there. Sounds good, man. It seems like you recognize a niche in the market and where the Web3 gaming is heading, and you guys have carved out a little, section for yourself there. Again, I don't really know this industry in detail, but from what I hear and what the market cap shows is that, man, you guys are doing something great over there. And not only we're just speaking about the project, but I feel like your community and the investors see that as well. 3 months and you achieve 26 million market cap. It seems like you have big plans coming up here, reaching 1 million 3D creations end of the year, which is only 5 months away. So if you guys are able to accomplish that with with the Bittensor subnet and the plugins like you mentioned, I think you guys are gonna go out with a bang this year here. I think you guys gonna really, you guys can do really well towards the end of the year, especially we're heading to I guess, the bull market, right? I think we haven't started yet. I think the next couple months here, I think we're gonna really see the bull market coming through here. So it seems like the future is bright. Everything is aligned for you guys over there.
Well, we're doing our best, you know, to prepare. We've been non-stop working for 4 months now. You know, a lot of community work and a lot of product work at the same time. So I think, yeah, we're building, we're preparing, and whenever the time is right, we're here. I think that's quite visible in the looking at the last few days as well. So yeah, I'm excited for what's to come this year.
Yeah, when I saw your project, it was like around, I don't know, I forgot, but now you guys sitting at around close to 25 million market cap here. You had a great couple of days. Yeah, so yeah, congratulations on that. All right, sounds good. So you mentioned that you guys launched around back in March. Now let's go back to the basics, right? How was it launched, and are there any vesting tokens that we should know about as a community?
All right, so in terms of the launch, it was pretty basic. So we raised 10 ETH from KOLs that we handpicked at that time, and we put all of the 10 ETH into liquidity for the launch. So we launched around 50K market cap. So it was a fair launch in a way, except for a very small raise for liquidity. Other than that, the majority of those tokens that were raised from KOLs at that time are already long unlocked. There's maybe, about 1%, no, less than 1% of total supply left to be unlocked in the next 2-3 weeks. I don't think that's going to have a big effect though, because we're very we keep our KOLs on a very tight leash in a way. So we're pretty strict with everything, but I think they also appreciate it. So in general, we just had this. This was the only thing that was vested, and it's basically gone now. Other than that, there's nothing to worry about. Everything else is, team tokens, dev and research tokens, a little bit of marketing wallet, and that's it. So everything is circulating. And I should say, we obviously didn't touch the team wallet or the dev and research wallet since launch. So we're not planning on doing that.
Wow. Okay. Well, congratulations if you got in that 50K market cap, guys. You're sitting at almost 25 million, 24.6 million right now. That's that's quite a gain there, huh? From 50K to 24.5. Wow. Congrats.
Well, I mean,
on that.
at the all-time high, we reached like 44 million or something. But yeah, it was. I think it was a good run. Yeah.
What he lost. I mean, that's incredible. That's actually incredible. Yeah, sounds great. All right, now you guys are over in your Ethereum chain, correct? And if you guys are on your Ethereum, are there taxes on the token? And if there are, where are those going to?
Yeah, so there's a 4% tax, and so far it's been going to funds for actually registering the subnet and marketing and development. So as I said, we have a pretty big team that we also need to keep afloat. And on the other hand, we also did a bit of marketing. So there were also quite a few funds used for that. And the rest went into building up Tau for the subnet. Because the subnet registration costs, depending, it's based on demand, right? So it costs between 1,000 and 2,000 Tau usually, if you want to be safe. So that's what we've been building up as well.
Sounds good. No, a project like this caliber definitely. I mean, you definitely need development money, right? Okay, so 4% in, 4% out. I'm assuming so 2% development and 2% marketing, correct?
Yeah, pretty much. But as I said, this is not 100% strict because we had to also acquire the Tau for the subnet and a few other things. So, but I think there's no complaining from the community on how we use the tax, and we're pretty careful with the spending as well. So as I said, we try to stay as lean as possible on the team side, and we have a very heavy vetting process on anyone that we do marketing with as well. So yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty confident that there's no complaint from the community for sure, especially the KOLs, right? From 50 million to 24 million. So I don't think there's a complaint there at all.
No, I haven't heard anyone complain.
I bet not. All right, sounds good. Hey, Noor, man, whatever you guys are doing over there, you guys doing a heck of a job, man. And I think it shows that through your chart, 100%, right? And it seems that the community is actually love what you guys are doing. 26 million market cap. You went to all-time high at 40. That's not very easy to achieve within a short period of time here. But not only that, but the chart looks good, right? And that's the most important thing. It's not one of those things where it goes all the way up and it goes all the way back down to zero. I mean, you guys, your chart, you zoom out, you look at a 30-minute chart, looks really good. So yeah, no, I have nothing bad to say about the project, and I actually look forward to see the plugins coming out and the Bittensor subnet coming out and reaching that 1 million creation there. I think that'd be an achievement, especially going to the next 5 months here. So it seems like you do have a lot of things going on the next couple of months here.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to post that announcement. We reached 1 million assets generated. That's going to be a day to remember, I think.
I think so. I think so. I think that's gonna be big. Uh, that's gonna definitely get you some attention for sure, right?
Oh, that too, but it's definitely also about fulfilling our vision, So the first milestone would be hit, and then we can go to the 10 million mark.
100%, brother. 100%. Sounds good, Neural. I think we pretty much covered everything. Have we missed anything?
I mean, from my side, I don't think so. We actually covered quite a lot. It was really nice talk. So
Yeah, I thought so as well. Everything is concise to the point, and we get to know about the project and what you guys have going on and your mission, etc. So I think the partnership as well, CD5, that's actually a pretty big partnership there, man. And but you know what? But the most important thing that I think that you guys can really drive your adoption is like it seems that you guys are aiming for that. Everything is free, right? You guys really want to get the adoptions out there, the scalability out there. So I think that's crucial.
yeah, I mean, one thing to note is that our partnerships are like we don't just go around and do partnerships. They make actual sense, right? So the CD5 partnership makes a lot of sense for us because we get access to their incubated games. We can help onboard them to our platform, and we will also get actual direct feedback from them, which helps us further improve our product and our processes. And then for example, we also have the Akash partnership, which helps us with everything that we need on the GPU side. So we have 60 GPUs with Akash right now, I think, and we're looking to increase that to over 100. So yeah, these things make sense, right? We're not a project that just goes around and partners with anyone. So we had a lot of offers, So I just wanted to point that out. So we have a very strategic and clear approach to what we're doing. We try to avoid fluff,
Yeah, I think rightfully so, right? Because you're right. I definitely see other projects out there just to form some shitty partnership so they can announce there's a partnership, right? Just to make an announcement. And usually those don't end up going anywhere, just besides the pin post, right, on X or on Telegram. Uh, but
yeah.
those projects usually last long. They don't really have a mission in general, right? Just smokes and mirrors, really. So no, I definitely see that. Like what you said there. I do see the bunch of hands raised there, guys. So if Neural does not have anything else to add, we can go ahead and take some questions from the community.
Sure.
Is there anything else? Okay, sounds good. So before we do that, guys, before I mute you guys, I'm gonna go into our the pin post here, and there's a lot of questions on here. So usually what we do is that we post this question banner, and we allow the community to ask questions before the AMA, usually 5 hours ahead of time. So I'm gonna go through here. But oftentimes the questions are asked in this banner usually get answered during the AMA. But I'm gonna go through here really quick here. Neural, if you want to, you can go pick your questions as well. But I'm gonna scroll through here and see what I can read off here. Let's see here. Okay, so the question from Miss Chief here, he or she wrote, what strategies is NeuralAI implementing to ensure the continuous community growth and engagement?
Okay. Well, I kind of touched on this a little bit before, but basically, we just started now with a lot of collaborations that are going to be come from the gaming side, right? So we will have tens of games that we collaborate with, which means we will have a lot of extra eyes on our platform, on our project. So that's one thing, but that's quite organic, right? Then we also have, obviously, we will do further marketing with KOLs, with other potential partners that we see. And in terms of growth, that's one thing, but for us, it's also very important that we retain the community, because we have we actually have a lot of loyal holders and a lot of loyal people that understand our vision and where we're trying to go. And we want to make sure that these people are always updated. We always communicate with them. We just keep that communication flow going. So for us, that's really important. So we always have a weekly NeuralAI Twitter space about updates of the product, of our next steps on milestones, etc. You're very welcome to join that, of course. Actually, tomorrow is the next one, so a little plug there. Other than that, we just keep doing what we're doing. We do the whole adoption thing with plugins, etc., and that alone should drive a lot of attention to us.
Yeah, thanks for that answer there. All right, so the next question is, I just lost the question here. Okay, can NeuralAI 3D design capabilities be accessed through a web interface, desktop app, mobile app, and what are the system requirements to access the 3D design, creation?
So there are basically no system requirements in that sense. We have a web app, as I said, and soon we will have plugins for different kinds of game engines and 3D model applications. And then actually, if you're a really hardcore user, you can also use our API, which we just made public, and you can plug in there and generate your models with an API call. So there's lots of different ways that we support and will support generating assets.
Nice. So there's no special requirement. You pretty much access anywhere on any. Awesome. Yeah, because I didn't have a problem at all whatsoever accessing that, and it spit out a 3D model in I think it was 30 seconds. So that was pretty.
Yeah, no, that's why we have a lot of GPUs with Akash, because those GPUs are generating the models. So your local computer doesn't have to do anything really.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think that's going to really help the adoptions, right? Because you don't really rely on your system power. But yeah, it's actually very crucial. All right, so let's see here. Okay, so this question here, I did have to sign in order to use the 3D generation. So I'm assuming that this question is geared towards that log in, right? Especially in the Web3. So Amelia asked, what user data, if any, is stored off-chain, and how is it protected?
Okay, so user data that's stored off-chain is basically, we keep a history of your created assets in a basic database like any other SaaS company would. Now, how this is protected? Well, we apply any kind of common securities methods. So there's no kind of external access to the database. It's all protected by specific logins and stuff like that the user never accesses. So, and obviously your user data is separated from other users, so they can't access your user data and stuff like that. But yeah, it's very pretty much straightforward,
Yeah, thanks for that there. Okay, now this question here, we touched on this already, but I think it's probably good to recap, because I think this is actually important. Maybe for those that just got in here, not since the beginning of this AMA here. But the question is, are there any partnerships, and can you elaborate on the partnerships and how you guys work with them?
Okay, very briefly. So as I said, we have a collaboration with Akash network. We utilize the GPU marketplace. We have a private deal with them for better pricing and stuff like that. So this is how we use Akash. and we also do side events at live events with them. And then on the other hand, we have just announced CDFI, our second biggest partnership, I would say. Obviously, they will allow us to get access to the incubated games. We will connect with them much easier. They will start using our product, so it's a win-win for everyone. And then we have a few other partnerships, not really partnerships, more collaborations, right? So we collaborate with a lot of games. Most of them haven't been announced yet. So I'm not going to talk too much about that. But yeah, the first one was announced today, which was Shockwaves. And there's more coming from that. And obviously the way this collaboration works is they use our product. We get coverage, they get our product for free. So yeah, win-win again.
Sounds great. Thanks for the answer there, Neural. All right, guys, as I'm going through here really fast here, and it looks like a lot of the questions have been answered already. So I'm going to go find the last question here. And if I miss anything else, you guys can always welcome to join the TG, okay? After this, I'm going to post a TG. Make sure you join the TG. Do not spam, maybe give a feedback, whatever. Johnny and Mike may go there, pick maybe a $10 winner. But go there and just give a feedback. If you have any questions that I might have missed, you can further ask your questions over there. But I'm going to go ahead and ask one more here.
Sure.
Okay, so I know that we spoke on this again already in Neural, but the question from Candice, and I think she asked, she goes, what are the unique features of NeuralAI decentralized application for the 3D asset generation that sets it apart from other similar tools on the market today?
Well, very, very briefly, I think the core is that that we have our very own unique workflow and our very own unique models that we use for it. So that produces a quite high quality model output already. Then we, with the help of Bittensor, we'll be able to drive adoption at zero cost for the user. Again, this is something very unique, and through that, actually, the users can also get rewarded for even using our application or our system. So yeah, I think these are the most unique parts of it, and yeah, that's really it. So I don't want to go too much because we basically talked about this already.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Well, I think that wraps up all the questions there. I know there's a lot of questions there, but I know there are a lot of questions that have been answered already as well. But after this, again, I will pin the TG, join the TG, okay? Just give a feedback, and Mike and Johnny may go there and pick a winner, or every day one of the team members will go there, but do not spam. Okay, now I see some hands raised. I'll just unmute one, guys. If you guys want, again, if you guys want to go ahead and ask questions, go there and ask questions. So I'll unmute Ize. Ize, if you want to go ahead and speak, if you like. All right. Sounds good, guys. Well, great AMA Neural. I think you did a heck of a job articulating your project, brother. And it seems like you guys made significant progress and also significant success as well. Within 3 months here that you guys launched the project. I mean, all-time high 40 million. Right now it's at almost 25 million from 50,000 market cap. Incredible. So congrats to that. But I think you guys have a bigger vision ahead of you. And it seems like you guys are doing a lot the next 5 months here. So I look forward to see that 1 million, right? And I look forward to having you come back here and give that update, once it hit that 1 million, brother.
Yeah, as I said, I can't wait. So I'm excited for what's coming now. I'm super proud and grateful for our community. And yeah, as I said before, if anyone wants to be part of our community, join the space tomorrow. We'll have a space, I think, 5 p.m. UTC on Twitter. join our Telegram, ask questions, as you said, and we're very happy to answer them. And we have a team that's constantly answering them. So also very shout out to them. They've been amazing for 4 months now. So very lucky to have this kind of team and this kind of support from the community.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, guys. So yeah, they do have a spaces tomorrow, but I'll pin the TG, join the TG, and you can follow up and list and participate in the space tomorrow if you would like as well. As always, guys, this is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. But from what I can see, I mean, the team is doing a heck of a job over there, and I think the chart reflects that. So congrats to the team. Thank you so much, Neural.
Thanks.
If you don't have anything to further to say, we can go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks. It was a great talk.
Great chat, Neural. Hey, Neural, I do have a question later. I'll DM though, okay? Maybe something really stupid questions, but I think you may be able to help me out. I'll DM
Sure.
you later.
All right. No problem.
All right, thanks, Neural. Take care, brother. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.
See ya. All right, guys. Like always, we will award one winner. I'm not sure Mike is here. Mike, you there, brother? Mike has been busy. Anyway, we'll go ahead and pick one winner. Let me see here. Usually, Mike will have a wheel, and he can pick from. We haven't done that for a while. But I'm gonna go ahead and just pick one. I don't know. I'm just gonna scroll down. Usually I would ask the developer to pick one, but I'll go ahead and pick one. Okay, so Monette and Claudie. So whoever that is, congratulations. Okay, so after this guy, just for the fun of it, let's do a random number. Okay, 1, 2, I don't know. We had like around 160 members. So 1 to 200, 5 guesses only. Okay, for another $10 winner. But Monette and Claude, congrats, $20 for you for listening, and join the TG as well. I think the project, it's a great project, seems like. But yeah, make sure you do further research, and we will be pinning there the TG as well after this here when we open up the room. So thank you so much, guys. That was a great AMA actually, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Appreciate it. Thank you. Bye bye.